yogis, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a full body stretch. If you're new here, please be sure to like and subscribe, and when you're ready, go ahead and grab your mat and we can begin in child's pose at the back of our mat. Coming into child's pose at the back of your mat, go ahead and put your feet together, but take your knees as wide as the mat and slowly walk your hands out as far as they can, resting your forehead on the mat. Try to get your hips all the way down to your feet if it's possible. And do deep inhales in, filling up completely, and exhale it all away. A couple more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and walk your hands back. Bring your knees to touch, and we're going to come into a child's pose with your hands holding on to the soles of your feet behind you. So forehead placed into the mat. Just give your feet a little bit of a massage and slowly tilt to the top of the crown of your head, coming into rabbit pose. You should feel a nice deep stretch in your upper back. Go ahead and release rabbit and come up to center. Slowly bring your gaze up. And go ahead and put your right hand or your left hand over to your right knee for a twist. With every exhale, try to twist a little bit farther. And go ahead and come to center. And you're going to inhale to lengthen and exhale to twist. So right hand on your left knee as you twist. And try to find a spot in the back of the room to just gaze at. Every inhale you find length, and exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Go ahead and come to center. Coming into your tabletop position, hands directly below your shoulders, knees directly below your hips. We're going to do a couple rounds of cat-cow. So inhale, drop your belly, and exhale, round. Inhale, we're going to draw the shoulder blades down and back. And exhale, round. A couple more times on your own. Connecting with your breath, inhale and exhale. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze, and exhale, round. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and walk your hands out to the top of your mat, coming into puppy position. Trying to get your chest and forehead all the way down to the mat, keeping your hips directly above your knees. Keeping the tops of your feet planted into the mat, making sure your toes are not curled under. And on your next inhale, come into Sphinx pose. Shoulders right above your elbows, fingertips pointed forward. Next, we're going to go ahead and turn your left arm about 45 degrees angle And we're going to go ahead and reach with our right hand to grab our right foot and pull it closer to our glute. You should feel a nice deep stretch in your hamstrings, in the side of your glute also. And exhale, release. Go ahead and switch to the other side. So right arm in 45 degrees, grabbing that left foot with your left arm, pulling it close to your glute. And on your next exhale, go ahead and release that foot, pressing yourself up into all fours. Let's go ahead and do a couple hip circles on each side. So whatever feels good for you here, just connecting with your body, getting any cracks out. And go ahead and switch to the other side, doing some hip circles, warming up a little bit, getting mobility going. And now walk your hands up a couple inches and step back into your downward facing dog. This is our first downward dog, so feel free to keep your knees deeply bent or just simply walk out your legs, bending your right knee and then bending your left knee. Go ahead and bring that right foot up into the air and step it through, pivoting that back foot to come into Warrior Two. That knee is directly above your ankle, palms facing down. Keep your thighs firmly engaged here, as well as your core. On your next exhale, go a little deeper. Inhale and exhale, straighten that leg, triangle pose. So your right hand comes down to either your shin, or you can bring your hand down to the mat for an even deeper stretch, keeping your left arm up into the sky. Keep your core engaged as you raise up Warrior Two. Straighten that leg, step to the top of your mat, and go ahead and grab that left knee and pull it in towards your chest. Go ahead and find your balance and grab onto that leg with your right arm and open up into a twist to the left. Staying grounded through your right foot, focusing on a single point, and go ahead and release, arms raise, exhale, fold. Come up halfway, lift, flat back, and exhale, fold. Come up halfway, flat back, and exhale, fold over. Inhale, shoulder blades drawn back, and exhale, fold. Go ahead and step back into your high plank, firmly engaged, lower down chaturanga, upward facing dog, back into your downward facing dog. Pedal out your legs if you need to, and that left leg comes up and back, and stepping it between your hands, Warrior Two on the other side. Keep your core engaged, palms facing down. Inhale, straighten that leg, and exhale, triangle pose. You can keep your hand on your shin, or for a deeper stretch, bring your hand down to the mat. Keeping your inner thighs engaged. On your next inhale, you're going to raise up with your core engaged. And step to the top of your mat, bringing that right leg up to your chest. Finding balance in your left foot. Hold on to that leg with your left hand as you twist open with your right arm. This takes a lot of balance. You got this. And go ahead and release. Inhale, bring your arms around and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back halfway. Exhale, fold with your knees bent. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, step back into your high plank. Core engaged as you slowly lower inch by inch into chaturanga. Coming into upward facing dog, pressing into the tops of your feet, back into downward facing dog. Right leg comes up into the air, putting it up to the outside of your right hand into lizard pose. Go ahead and uncurl your left toes so your tops of your feet are pressed into the mat. And you can rotate your right foot to the side of it for a deeper stretch. And you can keep both palms on the mat or put your right hand on the thigh of your right leg and push it away from you. You should feel a nice deep stretch in your hamstrings and your glutes. And go ahead and put your right foot in a couple inches, coming into half splits. So straight leg, fold over. Keeping that right foot flexed, toes pointed up towards the sky. And let gravity do all the work here. Inhale, coming into a runner's lunge, into a easy twist. So left hand is planted firmly into the mat as your right arm and gaze up towards the sky. On your exhale, try to lower a little bit with your hips for a deeper stretch. Exhale, step back into plank. Lower chaturanga, upward facing dog, coming back into your downward facing dog. Your left leg is going to come up into the air, bringing it all the way up to the outside of your left hand, lowering that right knee to the mat, lizard pose. You can either push your leg away with your left hand or keep both hands pressed firmly into the mat. If you do want a deeper stretch here, you can go all the way down onto your forearms. Now coming into our half splits, move that foot in a couple inches to the center of your mat. Straighten that leg as you fold over it, keeping your toes pointed up towards the sky. And just let gravity do the work. Don't try to force your forehead to your knee. It's not necessary. And now let's come into easy twist. So right leg raises, right hand pressed into the mat as your left arm goes up into the sky. And on your next exhale, lower your hips a little bit deeper into this pose. On your next exhale, hands come to the mat, stepping back into your high plank, fully engaged here. Slowly lower inch by inch, chaturanga, upward facing dog, back into the downward facing dog. Pulling your chest a little bit closer to your thighs. You can still keep your knees bent here if it feels good for you. Long, deep breaths here. Go ahead and rock forward into your high plank. Lower slowly, chaturanga. And let's go ahead and do a couple of cobras. So bring your hands out a couple inches on your fingertips and raise up 3 times. Inhale, raise, and exhale, release. Inhale, come up, and exhale, forehead to the mat. One more time on your own. And let's go ahead and come onto all fours, coming back into child's pose. You can keep your legs or your knees as wide as the mat. Whatever child's pose feels good for you here. Go ahead and walk your hands in, coming up to center, and swing your legs out in front of you. Go ahead and bring that right knee up to your chest and keep the right leg straight. And then we're going to bring it across and over the right leg and come into a twist. So grab onto your thigh with your hand as you twist over. Go ahead and release that leg, lowering it to the mat. Right leg comes up to your chest, bringing it over your left leg. Hold on to that right thigh as you twist. Twists are very good for your spine, and with every exhale, try to go a little deeper. So go ahead and release, and let's lay back on our mat, coming into Shavasana. This will be the last pose of today's yoga class. Go ahead and close your eyes, palms facing up towards the sky. Your body should still be engaged here. Draw your shoulders down and back. Get any movement out that you may need that would feel good for you. It's so important every day to get on your mat and take some time for yourself. Even just a couple minutes of laying in this pose will do wonders for you. Deep inhales in and long exhales out. Making sure your inhales and exhales are of equal length. Try to let go of all the worries in the outside world and just focus on yourself for these last couple minutes. Every inhale, your lungs fill, and every exhale, you release it all away. Release all of the tension, all of the stress that today may have had, and just breathe. Go ahead and roll to the left and firmly place your right hand into the mat as you push yourself up. You can keep your eyes closed, coming into a cross-legged position, putting your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your navel. Deep inhale in and a long exhale, feeling your heartbeat, keeping you alive, keeping you breathing. Go ahead and rub your palms together and flicker your eyes open. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste, yogis.